Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm Sarah. I am a traditional Usui Reiki master teacher, a holistic life coach, and a yoga teacher. And I go live inside of this group on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and in my business page, Sarah Yoga and Wellness, on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time every week. So if you want to hear more and learn more, make sure that you follow me and like and comment. It helps me to reach more people, and I really appreciate it. Today's topic is feelings. And where do they come from? Why are they there? How do we learn from them? How do we manage them in a productive way? Why is it that sometimes we disconnect from them? And it's going to be a very exciting and enlightening talk that might just free you completely by just giving you a whole new level of understanding and relating to your feelings. So if you're watching live, please like and comment. If you watch the replay, please make sure that you hit hashtag replay. It really helps me to know if this information is helpful for you. And if you want to connect with me or my team, we do offer a 90-day awakening and empowerment program, and you can book a call with us to learn more about that. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I like to do is kind of help you understand that as human beings, we have different layers. We have our physical layer that we can touch and we can feel. We have our mental layer that allows us to process thoughts. We have our energy layer, the system of chakras and nadis. In Eastern medicine, they're sometimes called meridians, that help us to channel this life force energy, prana, that flows through our system. We have our emotional body, which is what we're really going to talk about today. And we have our spiritual body, which is basically our soul, the part of us that gives this entire system life and brings it into a place where it can function on this earth, right? So without spirit, your body has no life, your mind has no thoughts, you have no feelings. So spirit is the source of it all, your soul, your spirit, which was somewhere before it got here, and it will go somewhere after this body is no longer here and this mind is no longer here. But while it's here, it uses the energy system and it uses the emotions as a compass, as a way to kind of like a blinking light that says, here, pay attention to this. That's what your feelings do. Your feelings are your guide to see, to show you what's really going on and what your spirit really needs to be working on and what your spirit really, really wants. So when you get really excited and really passionate about something and really joyful and grateful over something, then that tells you that you are on the right track and that you are aligned with your spirit. When you feel resentment, anger, frustration, sadness, doubt, when you have all of these negative feelings, that's your spirit telling you, watch out, watch out. That action you're taking, those words you're speaking, that choice that you're making is not aligned with spirit. And so we have to learn to listen to our feelings. But a lot of the times, for a number of reasons, especially when we have gone through difficult experiences that were a little bit too painful, we learn to shut down those feelings. Now, the reason that we do that is because it's a protection mechanism. It hurts too much, and so therefore we disconnect and we don't want to deal with it. And now this feeling, this strong energy gets kind of like pushed under the rug because our mind is unable to absorb, to digest, to process, to deal with whatever it is. It's not that the feeling itself is overwhelming. The feeling is just a feeling. It's your blinking light. The problem is that the mind tries to understand, to rationalize, to create a story around it, to try and resolve it, to try and figure out the whys, the hows, and all of that. And now the mind gets completely overwhelmed. So now we're suffering from overload, but it's really not the feeling that's creating the overload. It's the story that we attach to that feeling. And in addition to that, you have the fear of, because all negative energy, all negative feelings come from fear. If you are angry at something or somebody, is because you have somehow felt threatened and that you're afraid of what's coming your way. So then you lash out and you get angry and you just project it back out. It's a defense mechanism that comes from fear. If you are sad, a lot of the times it's because we are afraid to face reality. We are afraid to really own what we need. So for example, let's say that you are in a relationship that's not healthy and you know it. And you've known this for a long time. But to unwind it and to take action to get out of it, it's just too much. It just can't be done. Like everything that you thought was supposed to be how things were supposed to go, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to about? So then you get completely overwhelmed. And so you refuse to see and face reality. And then underneath, there's this current of dissatisfaction, of sadness that you now cannot afford to deal with. Because if you go and actually face it, then the mind gets completely overwhelmed with what it is you have to do to fix it. And so that's why we disconnect. So I'll try and explain that again, because that's a really key concept that you need to understand in order to allow yourself to feel in a healthy and productive way. So I'll repeat that scenario so you can follow me along. You have a negative situation, a negative job, a negative relationship, a negative friendship, okay? And you don't like how that makes you feel. It makes you feel really sad, and you don't want to be in that position, and you wish that you could do something different about it. But when you start to feel how you really feel, you get completely overwhelmed by what you would have to do to fix it. Because how are you gonna get another job? Like, no, this is a job. You've been here for so long. You got a pension plan there. You can't just leave the job. That's okay, but it's not making you happy. But if you face the fact that you're sad about being stuck in this job, then you actually are gonna have to do something about it. It's the fact that you have to do something about it that says, no, do not feel that. Because if you feel that, you're gonna have to do something about it. Okay, and because of that, then we disconnect. We don't feel, and we kind of like zombie ourselves out. We numb ourselves out, and we keep going through the motions again and again and again with this kind of tugging feeling, this nagging feeling that your spirit, because you know, and I know that you know, and you know that I know that you know, and we're conscious beings. It's not like you can just shut this stuff off and pretend that it isn't there. I mean, you could try, but the conscious part of you, it's always going to know, and it's always going to tug at it and try to get you to go the right way. And so what do we do about this, right? Okay, so we've talked about where feelings come from. We have our energy system. It has 5 layers. Spirit uses your feelings as a blinking light to let you know what's aligned with spirit and what isn't. And the reason that we shut them down is not necessarily because of the feeling itself, but because of the mental overwhelm that happens when you allow yourself to feel. Okay, because we're gonna either have to take action or do something about it. Something's gonna have to change, and we're afraid. There's that fear underneath it all, and so instead of feeling, we just disconnect. Okay, so that's where they come from. That's why we disconnect. So how do you fix it? The first thing that we need to do is to separate them. So you have the feelings on one side, and you have the mental noise in the other side. And you have to allow yourself to feel without attaching a story to it. And that takes practice, because it's normal for us to want to rationalize and understand and explain and fix and resolve. But that's what creates the overwhelm. So if you take a step back And you just allow yourself to sit with your feelings, to breathe into your feelings. If you allow yourself to cry, if you allow yourself to feel the sadness without feeling the pressure that you have to do something about it, then what's going to happen is the feeling begins to dissolve. It begins to lose that powerful energy, and it kind of softens because you're opening your heart to it. When you do that, then you actually might get insights and clarity as of what action you could take. And it might not be as overwhelming as you think it's going to be. But you won't be able to see that effortless answer unless you detach your mind and let it just sit on the side for a second and let the feeling come up and let it dissipate. And so that's how we deal with our feelings. We have to separate, just for a second, the thought process, the story, the need to fix from the feeling itself. We have to learn to sit with whatever it is that we feel without fear, because it's only love that can override whatever negative feeling is flowing through. And so you have to open yourself up to feel what is without judgment. The minute that you judge it and you judge yourself, and the minute that you say, no, I should not be feeling this way, this is bad, I'm a bad person because of this, that, and the other thing, or I am having this feeling because it's somebody else's fault and they're making me feel that way, and blah, 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 blah. Now you've actually given away your power. You're no longer in the seat of consciousness. You're no longer accepting what's coming up with an open heart. So, hi Dawn, yes. Oh, I'm glad the guidance is helpful. Good to hear. So, it's a practice. And that's where the assistance of a guide and a teacher can be so helpful, because they can help you witness what's coming up without judgment, without fear, without resistance, without aversion, because they're not inside your bubble. They're a little bit outside of your bubble. So whether it is a priest, a rabbi, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or a spiritual teacher like myself, we help you to just be witness to whatever is going on. And when we come from a place of unconditional love and compassion and acceptance, then your system begins to feel safe enough to do that for yourself. That's really my job as a teacher, to hold that sacred space so that you can learn to hold that sacred space for yourself, to hold a fearless place that it doesn't matter what comes up, we're going to be okay, and you'll be able to deal with it, and we'll be able to use it productively, because your feelings are here to guide you to where you need to go. If you shut them down and you don't feel, not only are you losing your compass, and now you're just kind of drifting with whatever the collective consciousness tells you you're supposed to do, get a job, get a house, get a couple of kids, retired, blah, 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 but you also disconnect from the positive feelings. So a lot of the times you can't have it both ways. You cannot disconnect from the negative feelings and stay connected to the positive feelings. It's not that simple. That's not an option. When you allow yourself to feel, you allow yourself to feel both. And if you disconnect from the negative, then you also lose the positive. And you lose that joy for life, that zeal, that drive, that is constantly pulling you forward to rise and to move away from fear and towards light and love. And so that's a huge price to pay. Why? Because you don't want to be overwhelmed. Work with it. Train your mind, train your body, train your system that the conscious part of yourself is in charge. And there's so many practices that you can do to help you do that, because it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's something that you have to train to do. Kind of like if you're training to, run a marathon, or you're training for a specific sport or something, you don't just wake up one day and make it happen. You have to train and condition your system to be in a state of witnessing, to constantly observe, to constantly accept. And so this is why, and I'm biased because I like yoga, because if you're in a pose and your arms are overhead for a long, long time and you're sitting like you don't have time to think too much. You have to actually be present with the discomfort. After a little while, your arms are going to start to hurt and you're going to get tired, and you're going to have to connect with your breath in order to hold that position. When you're able to do that with your physical body, then you're able to do that with your emotional body, with your energy body, with your mental body. It doesn't matter what comes up, you have the presence and the consciousness to deal with it without judgment, without aversion, without resistance, just welcoming it with an open heart. So that's my little chat for today. Please make sure you tune in at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm here inside the group. Wednesdays, I'm outside on my business page because it allows me to share with others. If you want to book a call with me and my team to learn more about our 90-day awakening and empowerment program, there's links all over the place, all over my pages. You could also go to sarahco.com and book a call there. We'd love to chat with you. The vision for 2021 is here. It is amazing. I am so super excited. I'm so excited, and it's already done, and it's already said that I forgot to announce it. So I'm gonna go into that just real quick. We have lots and lots of really good stuff coming up next year. So the lives, as I mentioned, going live 3 times a week to share and serve to those of you who, might not have the resources to join some of my programs. This is why I do these lives, because it allows me to reach as many people as possible and share all of this love and all of this goodness and empower women who might not be able to join my programs. But those of you who can, I have a 90-day program with an amazing group of women that's already running. And then in January of 2021, so that 90-day program is called the Awakening and Empowerment Program. And in 2021, I'm rolling out a 12-month Rising with Purpose mastermind program. And that is going to be the next level. It's going to be a group of women who are really committed in a long-term basis to continue to raise their vibrational frequency so that they can expand in love and light and assist others and inspire others to do the same. When we get together like this, we uplift the consciousness of humanity, and each one of us has a purpose and a way that we are meant to give and we are meant to serve, and that long-term program is going to be the platform to do that. In addition to that, I am running that 5-day challenge that I ran last fall. We're going to run it 3 times this year. January, the dates are set. The announcements are all over the place in my pages and my website. Oh, they're not on my website yet. I have to do that today. Oh, so many things to do. I'll write that down real quick. 5-day, I have to post that. Then it's going to be really special because in addition to the 5-day challenge, which is going to run Monday through Friday, you're going to have a VIP option to join us on Saturday for a manifesting workshop. So we're going to connect with what your heart is really looking for, and we're going to go through some of the principles of manifesting. For those of you who have been with me for a while, this is a online version of my vision board workshops that I used to do when I had a brick and mortar studio. I used to have students come and bring like their vision boards and their magazines, and we would sit there with music and create as we went along. Online, you can't really do that. So, I mean, I guess you could, but it's a little bit awkward and it's kind of hard to keep the span of attention of someone working online for that period of time. So I've shortened it to 3 hours. It's going to be Saturday the 29th, and it's just January 29th. I plan long term. So I know it's December and I'm planning for the whole year. I'm already planning 2022, girls. So this workshop that I'm talking about is going to run the Saturday after the 5-day challenge, and it's going to be for 3 hours, and it's going to be amazing. and it's just $47 for you to join, and it's a great opportunity to get together with an amazing community of women. So we have that going on, and I think that those are all the announcements that I can think of right now. I'm sure there's more coming, and I'm very organized, so everything is in the announcements tabs and on my website for you to find more information about all of this goodness. Thank you so much for watching. I am so excited to be coming live here 3 times a week, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Tuesdays and Thursdays inside this group, Wednesdays outside on my business page. I see you tomorrow. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.